welcome back to my channel. My name is V. For today's video, we are going to be doing a tips and tricks video on how to not procrastinate while at home. But this version is the realistic version, well, from my perspective, because I've watched a lot, and I mean a lot, and not just one person, like a lot. I think I've watched 10 videos on how to not procrastinate while we're going through this pandemic, and all of the routines were great. I mean, I picked up lots of tips and tricks, you know, and I really appreciate it, but I feel like they're coming from a perspective of people who have like a perfect quote-unquote family home, in terms of their family understands and they leave them to study and they don't have like chores and things and whatever. But I honestly, that's not my situation, that's not my reality. So I'm bringing you guys a how to not procrastinate version from the perspective of a girl living in an African household, where your own time is just not a thing, leaving you alone is not a thing, staying in your room all day for 24 hours and not coming out to cook, clean, help with the chores, it's not a thing. So here's my version of how you can outsmart your family even if you're living in a circumstance where you don't really get your own space and things. And lots of people don't have their own bedrooms, okay? People share with their siblings. Some of you guys are helping to look after your siblings if your family is in the healthcare sector, and I know that a lot of my friends from the continent, our families and our mums especially, work in healthcare. So a lot of our parents are still going to work because they're key workers, which means that a lot of the household responsibility falls on us. So this routine is honestly based on, these tips rather are based on students who come from backgrounds where you don't have that privilege or luxury of having your own time and space, right? So yeah, take this with a pinch of salt. It works for me. It's what I've done to try and outsmart my family and to make them think I'm around, to make them think that they've got me where they want me, but really I've got them where I want them. So number one on my list is to make a routine. I know I've said that to you guys before, it's probably getting boring, but it's so important to have some form of a routine. Now you need to base your routine based around your family too, because when you come from a household whereby literally no one understands the term leave me alone, you can't even say that if you want to live, you know, you need to outsmart your family and kind of involve them in that routine, because otherwise you'll just end up clashing 24/7. So my routine centers around what my mum and my sister do, because I know them so well. So my routine is scheduled around the things that I know the family do every day, to avoid me planning something like a really big essay at dinner time and then I'm like shocked when my mum's nagging me to come and eat. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So try and schedule your routine around your family. And what I've started to do is to wake up earlier than them, which I would normally done at university, but obviously right now it's hard in the pandemic and you're staying up later than usual. But try to get a hold on your sleeping routine, because I wake up before these guys, which means I have 3 hours to do all of the stuff that needs hardcore concentration, things that I just can't do while they're awake. So the next thing that's really, really important is for you to have a to-do list. It is crucial. Like honestly, for me, I cannot function. My day does not begin until I've written my to-do list, and it's so important because it just keeps you on track. You can physically see what you need to do, how you need to do it, and how long you might have to do it. And this is where watching my friends' videos also helps me, because in Ruby's video, Ruby Granger, love her, absolutely adore her, she explains how she transfers her to-do list onto a step-by-step, hour-by-hour, minute-by-minute schedule that keeps her accountable, and she can see exactly how long she has to do something. So you kind of beat procrastination, because you'll have 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. write this essay, but if you go on your phone you're losing 25 minutes of that time, then you're pushing everything else back, which means you won't be done with your day until, I don't know, 10 p.m. instead of 8 p.m, you know? So that works. It doesn't work for me, like seeing the hour by hour. I work better with just having that to-do list and then allocating my time as I go and readjusting. But if you do better with a minute by minute, do that, whatever works for you. Number 3 is I'd recommend finding different spots in your house to work in. So I have my bedroom, which is where I work the majority of my time. Then I have the kitchen, which is it's harder because people are always in there cooking and things, but in the mornings it's actually quite empty. So I love using the kitchen table to work, and it helps me just have a change of scenery. Something else that I'd really recommend is taking a daily walk. I'm literally getting ready to take mine, and this has become a part of my routine very recently because I never really used to do it. I used to jog and I tried yoga, it wasn't working for me, and now I've just found that having a little walk for an hour is more than I need. Like, it works for me. So scheduling in something that will help you clear your mind and to actually take a physical break from working, because I know you guys are going to be working so hard. In an African household, right, everyone wants you to contribute to the house, like chores, cooking, cleaning, blah blah blah. So you just saying I'm taking out 12 hours of the day to study, then I'll be sleeping for the rest of the other one, it just doesn't work. So this actually works perfectly for me while I'm at home, in the sense that my 4 to 6 hours can be spread out during the morning and afternoon, and I'm free every evening. But you also do need a break, and taking a walk or doing some form of exercise or just whatever works for you. And for me, it's a walk. So I would say scheduling in something that lets you have a bit of a break, especially from the family as well, because I know it can get hard, okay? I know that sometimes you might just need a physical break from the house, and taking that walk for an hour or half an hour, obviously following the government rules and around your house, is super important and will be very, very helpful. My next piece of advice is pretty simple. You've got to drink plenty of water throughout the day, because that is the only way that your mind will stay rejuvenated, and that, I don't know, you will just feel more productive, because water is good for you. Try to avoid sugar, and I'd always recommend you have a bottle or a glass by your side at all times, and just drink plenty of water. Something else I'd recommend, which is so important, is making sure that you don't get distracted by this, or either by your favorite movie, favorite book, whatever it may be. If you can put that thing away, you've won the game, because they are so distracting. And the things that I'd recommend is the Forest app, which is great. You guys know I love that thing. When I was at uni, I used to leave my phone in my room, but that's harder to do now because I am in my library. Like, my bedroom is now my library, so it's hard to leave it at home because I am at home. Whereas now what I do is put it in the flower pot, which is easier because the flower pot is in the living room, and if I want to get my phone and distract myself, I have to go through my family and be like, hey guys, I'm just here to distract, which is obviously not good. Or if you are really distracted and you really need help, I would recommend deleting your apps. So deleting your social media apps and re-downloading them every time you want to go on them, because that will make you feel like, am I really about to really re-download just to check Instagram? And then you're like, now I'll wait till the end of the day. So delete those apps. Something else I'd really recommend is study music. I honestly live by study music because it's so important. Right now my playlist is Hamilton, which I know can be distracting, but I don't get distracted very easily by the music playing. But if you need something that's empty without lyrics, because then you don't like think about them or sing along, I would recommend you just go on YouTube and type in study music, enter, and they bring up these different ones that are all like nice piano music. Like, it's gorgeous, and it's like 2 hours long, so you don't have to think about changing it. It just plays for the whole 2 hours. And if you have to study around your family, like in the living room or whatever, if you have that playing in your ears on like not full volume but relatively loud in your ears, then you can drown them out and recreate like a cafe style study space. Because I love studying in cafes, have headphones in and people are talking around, walking around, but I'm not distracted. So if you want to recreate that atmosphere, I'd recommend getting a good study playlist of music and having that playing while you're working, and then you can just drown them out. Drown them out. And the other thing that I would just say is you've really got to work smarter. I don't want to promote working smarter, not harder, but you really have to work smarter. And like I said, my study mentor advised me 4 to 6 hours is enough. And if you're doing an intense 2 hours, take a break. Intense 2 hours, take a break. Intense 1 hour or maybe 2 hours at the end, you are doing more than enough. Obviously everyone is subjective to each person, and if you feel like you need 12 hours a day, that's fine. As long as you can work productively and actually do something. I prefer to work for less hours and do more in that time than to spread it out and do it slowly. Something else I'd recommend, which I obviously know I need to contribute to, is that you should watch Study With Me's, and they really help. Whenever I watch Ruby Study With Me, for example, or Jade Study With Me, when they do the 1 hour with no music, no nothing, and it's just them studying, I love those real-time Study With Me's because I just play it while I'm doing it and it makes you feel like you are at uni working with your friends again. And that's all that this is about, is trying to recreate those environments that you are normally most productive in, and having that play while you're working will make you feel like you're accountable because someone else is there. I know no one's there, but it just helps. Or something else is getting up Zoom or Google Hangout or Skype or even FaceTime and having a friend that you trust or friends that you trust who actually work as hard as you, and just saying, we're having a study date, everybody mute yourselves or have yourselves playing if that helps, and let's just study together. And now they can see you, you can see them, but you're still studying, you know. Try to recreate that group study environment or that cafe style or whatever it may be that helps you. And lastly, number 10, just do your best. Honestly, that is all that you can do and all that you can give, and all that we require of you is to do your best. This is a difficult environment, difficult situation. The world is literally like a catastrophe is happening out there, you know. We are living through a global pandemic. Let's not pretend we're not, we really are, and that's going to affect all of us in different ways, and your academics and your focus is going to slip because of that. So understand that you are working through very difficult circumstances and don't undermine that. It is hard, and being home 24/7 without being able to take a break, go to your friend's house, go for dinner, go to the cafe, go to the library, it is hard, and mentally that's going to have a strain. So understand that what you're doing is absolutely remarkable given these circumstances, and yeah, you're doing your best. And if you can only do 3 hours a day, that's fine. 1 hour a day, whatever you can do, your best is good enough, because right now giving up is like the thing that we should all have done, because it is difficult. But the fact that you're still going and still waking up and still doing something, I applaud you, I really do. So take the steps that you can and adjust it to your household and what you can do. And if you can't do anything, that is fine. Like, no one can expect anything more from you during a time like this. But yeah, do your best. Best foot forward. I'm here for you guys in the comment section, everything like that. I love you so much. It's time for me to go for my walk because I'm actually late for that now. But yeah, I love you, and I'll see you guys in the next video.